Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this Estate Planning Malaysia Academy. I have designed this short talk series for the next 2 or 3 months. I have already lined up with about 10 to 12 topics, which I like to share with many people if I can, it'll be on a weekly basis. Okay, so this session is recorded for my personal and also for my commercial purpose. So by logging in means you give your consent to be recorded. Yeah. Okay, thank you. All right, so the topic today will be on will and estate planning for parents with young children. So our focus today is just on this specific market. Or if you're in this background, then you put yourself in that background. Or if you are single, I know some of you are and probably eligible. So you have to imagine either another person or your clients or your friends who are parents with young children, okay? And we'll basically zoom in on the advantages and the shortcomings of life insurance nomination under the Financial Services Act 2013. I try to generalize for you, but if you have a question, please put into the chat box. I know many of you have. I will try answer some of the technical questions if I can, because this one short talk was meant for general knowledge for a lot of people. But today we have a good crowd. So if you have questions, I'll take your technical questions, okay? Okay, most of you know me. I have a string of qualification, okay, in financial planning. Many of you know my background. My forte is in estate planning. And I developed my model. I call it integrated approach to estate planning. Many of you are my Module 2 students, so you know what kind of things that I'm talking about. I'm also a licensed financial advisor. I have ECMS RL, and I have a FAR, Financial Advisor Representative. This one, I now tie up with this advisor company called FA Advisory. And under my name, I'm also a senior franchisee for Rockwills, Trustee Berhad. And I also tie up with this Al Salihin Trustee Berhad. I can do Islamic wasiat, and I have practical knowledge on Islamic estate planning. If you Google my name, you'll get some articles online. I've done my estate planning reading, research, and practice for a long time, since 2005. Okay. So I've tried to keep up with some of my knowledge by writing articles and published in some magazines. Initially, I appeared in Personal Money. Now this magazine no more already. Smart Investor, they're making a revival. So I have an earlier set of articles, series of articles, about 12 of them, which is actually listed in my estateplanningacademy.com, malaysiaacademy.com inside there. And also recently, last year, I published a number of them, articles in Smart Investor as well. Okay, so today, like I say, is 1 hour. So we'll keep it to be concise for this topic. So I give you some overview, a bit of overview, and a bit of integrated approach. Actually, for this session, I'll do a bit differently. Keep your question coming, because most of you are my students. So I think most of you have passed, if not all of you have passed a module 2. Some of you got your CAP already. Congratulations. And also a few of you actually move on to a financial planning representative. Okay, a few more coming in. And specific points on this insurance nomination. So if you have a question, keep them coming, okay? Oh, okay, so maybe for some of you, it's a bit of revision. You're familiar with the kind of presentation that I have. Normally, what we do is that we look at the person who is a parent, okay, and with young children, right? And I'm not sure. I'm based in Kuching, and I have another friend, my ex-student, also come from Kuching. I don't know what happened in Kuching. Just recently, people around me, around us that we know of, suddenly they just passed away. Okay, I went for my urut for my this elbow because of badminton. The guy is the old man is about 60 plus, 60, 70. And then he just told me that his son age 40 has suddenly passed away. And I have my another friend also, the husband, just over the last weekend. And 2 weeks ago, I got my classmate, I'm age 54, my classmate, same batch, call me up and say want to do know more about will writing. Then he told me that actually his wife's friend, their family friend, the wife, whose wife, woke up early in the morning, and then, how come the husband not on the bed? Maybe went downstairs or what? He woke up early or what? Then when she went downstairs, the shop, the husband just lie down there, motionless, at the kitchen there, and just calm off. Okay, I don't know why, but because of the MCO and also the pandemic, and I don't know whether is it because of the virus or is it because of the vaccine or because of the MCO, the lockdown. As a result of it, our biological rhythm and physical rhythm for our health, all this have gone haywire. So I think people in the market are very much, concerned about planning for their estate, for the young children, and things like this. Okay, so since most of you are my ex-students, so this is a huge market. I'm sure many of you do insurance, do unit trust, do will writing, practice planning, some of you. So I think I'm always advocating using estate planning as a way to open up the market. Okay. Right, so parent young children, as you know, when a person drop off, when they die, when a person die, then all the assets under his name will be in estate law. Okay, and for those who are familiar, it's actually a revision. So I have four categories of assets under a person's name when they come off. So one is, I just put very simple, movables, liquid assets. Second one, immovables like properties. And then third one, private businesses. And then the fourth one actually is life insurance. Okay. Okay, so for today's topic, people keep coming in. Okay, so for today's topic, we will focus on this one. But in relation to the estate of the person, of course, for those who know it, if you want to look at to handle the estate, then of course you have to have a separate instrument called a will, and you handle it from there. Okay, so you can have an executor, appointment executor. For the young children, then guardianship become important. All right, and of course, just to complete the whole picture for those who are familiar. So we have a private trust or a living trust. Easier to identify. Okay, we have living trust over here. All right, so next week, just for information, for those who got the information, next Saturday, I'll give you the detail later. I'll be specifically talking about the life insurance, so-called insurance trust, which is mainly on this part. Okay, so today we just focus on this part in relation to estate. All right, so for those who want to ask more, your questions, please put in your question, then I can incorporate into my explanation as well. Okay, so if you look at it from so-called insurance agent point of view, or from the prospect point of view, your client point of view, they're usually concerned about the coverage. We talk about the death benefit, and we talk about the total permanent disability benefit. Of course, agents in the market or even some FARs, they're very popularly, they just recommend CI, and of course the medical card. Am I correct? Okay, and then especially nothing wrong from sales promoter for insurance products. what they say is okay, so you can actually put in your nomination, right? So typically, let me use another color. Okay, let's say this guy is male, right? All right, it's a male. So usually the one we'll put is wife, correct or not? And usually the agents will say, you know, if Mr. So and so, if something happened to you or you're not around, you kick your bucket or whatever, then the money will go to your wife. Okay, the money means the insurance proceed. Okay, that one is correct. And most of the time, as you know also, they leave the trustee column blank. Okay, so it's also not a big deal. If the man dies, then wife is listed as a nominee. Then the money goes to the wife in lump sum. Right? So most of the time, I think people are okay with it. And even in terms of the client's mind, some of them have a bit of, you know, advanced kind of planning more than just nomination. They even tell you that their bank account may join name. Okay, if there's a survivorship clause, then it will not be frozen. You go to survivor. If the joint name is with wife. Okay, and then if the EPF, they put nomination, the nominee is wife. Okay, then not so much an issue. Okay, for this one, we discuss mainly about non-Muslim. We have a Muslim friend here. So this one, whatever I discuss are mainly for, actually solely for non-Muslim. Okay, for Muslim, then you have to tweak a bit here and there. Okay, so just to take note of that. So when we talk about the insurance nomination, this the one that we talk about is Financial Services Act 2013. Okay, for those who have attended my lecture before, I even discussed using the sections from the Financial Services Act. I have one slide for that, but it's fairly technical. But for those who want to do revision, if you have a question, you can just ask me, then I will, explain to you. Okay. All right. So this is usually talking about one scenario. Means the man, let's say picture me as a client or a prospect. I'm married with young children, or school-going children. So if I die, I have nomination for my wife for insurance, then not so much an issue. Okay, but I always advocate that when we do whatever planning in terms of risk management, that kind of thing, we have to look at more than just one scenario. Okay, so scenario one is man dies, the wife is around. Then we have to look at the scenario two. If the wife dies, then husband is around. Okay, so again, if the wife is the insured, and then the wife is a policy holder and insured, and then the nominee here is a husband or spouse, then not so much an issue. Okay, however, because in this target market, we have young children who are below 18 years old, and if in the worst case scenario, you have a situation number 3. Okay, situation number 3 means both the husband and wife die either at the same time, or one of them, husband and wife die in a short span of time. So one die first, then the other one die subsequently. So then they will have a lot of issues. Okay, so that one is a bit more detailed. That one for those, I have another scenario just to show it to you. I may not have a lot of, I may not have sufficient time to go into the detail, but just draw for you the scenario is we need to write 2 wills, one for the husband, one for the wife. Okay, ideally do it together, right? Meaning one will for the husband, then a will for wife. right? And then what I do is I look at the bigger picture, and both of you must synchronize. Synchronize means certain things you must link up together, so that if both of them die at the same time, then you know, the poor children, the innocent children who are left behind, they will not suffer that much. Money all have like you know, under the names of the husband or name of the wife, you know. So then the tricky part is, how do we write their will in such a way that in the event of a common disaster or double tragedy, then the children's interests and welfare are well protected. Okay, so just a quick one. So in terms of will, you need to appoint your executor. So you synchronize with husband and wife will. And then guardian also synchronize, means if both wills open up, then the guardians are the same set, including substitute. And then you need to give them the testamentary trust, since they have young children. And if they have joint name for bank account or EP or this sometimes property also got joint name, and then is with wife, then you need to synchronize, you know, with the husband and the wife's will. Okay, so what I do is I just talk a bit general. Okay, so if you can catch it, that'll be good. And many of you are my ex-students, so all this, some of these things I talk about start to come back as a revision. For those who are, we meet for the first time, if first time, then you can bring up your questions. Then you know, in other sessions, then we can continue to discuss some of the issues. Right. So in a way, this is a bit of the overview, and then now we talk about the integrated approach. Means you don't just talk about the insurance side. You talk about the estate and the will side, and then we talk about the so-called insurance trust. And there's another level of complexity if and when this person, you know, the parent with young children, this husband or father with young children, he is a business owner. Okay, up to now we assume that this person is under employment. Okay, either of course one income or double income. The husband is working, wife working with set of young children. So just to open up your mind, so when we go out and talk to our clients, most of us are CFPs and financial planners. You go out and talk to your clients, then if the person is a business owner, I focus more on the so-called the SMEs. Not even the M, usually the S. S also earn high income, and also including if they are professionals. Professional means they are practicing accountants, engineer, and architects, and especially for like architects, surveyors, engineers, they may be shareholders of their professionals in number. Okay, so we just focus on this market. So it's actually in the out there, huge market. So we need to just need to upgrade our knowledge. And for those who are CFP, just need to fine tune your practice knowledge. You get the big picture of how their situation is. If one of them die, both of them die, then you'll be able to see and diagnose for them. From then you can, of course, you can learn later on how to talk to them in that sense. Talk to them about the problems and the issues. Okay, so come back to just now. You just imagine if I'm a business owner, then this part, I use red. Okay, so this part will be an additional dimension. For those who still remember my module 2 topic, topic 16, I think, for estate planning. So we do talk about if they are sole proprietor, if they are partnership, or if they are senior Berhad shareholders. Okay, so this is the part. So these are the areas that we try to link it up. So after a few rounds, then you can see it is fairly clear. And a few of you are actually my subscribers for the Estate Planning Malaysia Academy.com. So I like you to go in and watch more of the video. For those just a bit update, a couple of months ago, I added in section 8, which is actually this part. Okay, estate planning for business owner. Okay, so a few videos there that you can actually, some of the concepts are there. All right. Okay, so any questions so far? I see more of you who came in, but all are familiar faces. So yeah, only very Cynthia Gunn, we probably have not met. We can, you know, CL, I don't know what's your full name. Any questions so far? If you don't have a question, then don't mind, since most of us are CFP. Then I go into this area whereby we talk about the nomination. Okay. Okay, these are the few slides that I'd like to share with you on the implication of the nomination under the Financial Services Act 2013. A few slides that I actually extracted from my estate planning awareness talk. Okay, just for your update, I can give this kind of estate planning awareness talk. During the last 3 to 4 years, I count just now about, I think our MCO since 2020, so already 4 years already. So at that time, I was invited, there was a request, especially online Zoom awareness talk, which I usually give, including the MIA, the Malaysian Institute of Accountant members, you know. I gave them two talks actually, one on personal and the other one on business, you know, like just now I mentioned to you about asset planning for businesses, the sole prop, the partnership, and also the Sendian Berhad. Okay, so just to let you know, I can do those kind of things. And then come back to this one, the slides. All right, so just to refresh, I think memory of many of you, this one I use light color, don't mind. I use light color. Okay. So on the Financial Services Act, actually is under Schedule 10. Okay, and put it in a very simplified way. If you put, I always you know, teach my students how do you remember you know, this nomination section. Okay, if you put if you nominate a single person, a single person, nominate parent, and married person, nominate spouse or child, either category. Then this one is under what we call the trust policy. Okay, trust policy in a very simple way means that when the nominee being paid the sum assured, the death benefit, can receive the money as beneficiary. Okay, meaning that he or she can use the money on himself or herself. And later on, I will show you the black and white that this money does not form part of the estate of the deceased, meaning it's not subject to the debt of the person, means not subject to the creditors. We call the estate creditors. Okay, when it comes to creditors, there are actually two types of creditors. One is after the person died. Let's say I'm Mr. A, for example. I owe Mr. Gui some money, say 300,000. So Mr. A dies, then Mr. Gui, you want to get back your money? 300,000 from me.
Yes.
Yes, so then you have to sue, you have to get it from my estate. Okay, so for those who are not familiar, let me go back to this chart. So this is how you can see it must be linked. All right, so this is Mr. A. I am Mr. A. I die. Then I still owe people money. So I owe my personal creditors. Okay, and then I die, then all the assets under my name will go under my estate. Okay, so then the personal representative, you got will, then we call executor. In no will, as you probably know, we call that person the administrator. All right, through letter administration. comes in to represent the person, then this person, the personal representative, we have to clear off the debts, okay, by paying off the creditors. So what I do is I label this one is called estate creditors. All right, so estate creditor is after the person died, then only then the creditors come in. All right, so this to differentiate another situation that, for example, this Mr. A again, I'm Mr. A, I owe Mr. Gui 300,000. But before I die, I'm still around, alive and kicking. And then I run into some cash flow issue already. As you know, now post-pandemic, a lot of people, you know, especially business owner, they run into cash flow kind of issue from the business especially. And, you know, if this situation happened that Mr. A start into getting into cash flow issues and they cannot afford to pay the debts already, and then the creditor like Mr. Gui cannot wait, and he wants his 300,000 back, so he will have to sue me for what we call bankruptcy. Okay, so if you recall your CFP module 2 in topic 15, then topic 14 actually on trust, inside there, the second part, they have this thing on bankruptcy. Okay, for those that finish a CFP or module 2, you can go back and do a bit of revision from there. Okay, so this is just to keep your mind to say that you need to differentiate between estate creditors, means after the person die, or before the death comes in, he already run into financial problem, and creditors want that money, that is under we call bankruptcy situation. Okay, just to differentiate on that. All right, so we come back to the life insurance side. So under the trust policy, then these are the two categories. Okay, actually this is how I help myself to remember. Single put nominate parent, married put spouse or child. Then I get a lot of questions, you know, whether during my CFP class or during my awareness talk, then they will ask, you know, a lot of other categories. My brother lah, sister lah, if I'm single, I put, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend lah, or whoever. Okay, the easiest thing to remember is all other categories are under this section. I just label it as all other category. As long as it does not fall into these two category, all the others, the nominees receive the money as executor. Okay, this is what the Financial Services Act says, receive the money as executor. Okay, what it means is that the named nominee will be paid the money. From the insurance company side, now the law is very good for them. As long as they have a named nominee, they look at it. If it's not trust nominee, then they'll pay to that person. Then that person will handle the money. So the law allowed the, you know, says that the insurance company will discharge. So the money is in the hand of the nominee. All right, and this nominee is called non-trust nominee. They don't, they cannot use the money themselves, or cannot use solely on themselves. So in the eyes of the law is they receive the money, and this money legally still belong to the estate. Okay, come back to this one. So it still belong to estate. For example, this insurance money, the nominee is brother, for example. The brother is paid the money in the hand of the brother, but in the eye of the law, this insurance money still form part of the estate and is subject to estate creditors and subject to the beneficiaries claim also. If the person has no will, of course, under Distribution Act, the person leave behind the surviving parent, of course, the wife and then the children all have a share. Okay. But in practice, at the practical level, sometimes, you know, the clients are advised by whoever sold them the policies, not so much a problem. What they mean is also, if there's nobody who claim, okay, if this Mr. A dies and then he has a policy and then nominate the brother and brother keep the money, but the wife doesn't know about it, parent doesn't know about it, estate creditors don't have or don't know about it, did not go and claim, there's no issue. But for us as a financial and estate planners, we cannot make this kind of assumption. Okay, it's just like a doctor. Probably some of you heard of this actual story. You know, in Brazil, there was a doctor. He was a surgeon. He made an assumption in his mind that the left leg of the patient was the bad one. Okay, so he went in there. He already had a preset mind. He assumed that was a left leg. So he went in and he just cut off the left leg, amputated the left leg. After that, he realized that, hey, the left leg was a good one. It was the right leg who was the bad. It was the bad one. So he made this kind of mistake. And I thought only in Brazil can make this kind of mistake. Sorry, any Brazilian here? No, But later on, I Googled it. I found also India got one case. And if you read newspaper, or at least you read online news, a couple of months ago, especially Chinese newspaper, there was one case, you know, there was a complaint. I think I don't read anything that you have gone to a legal case. You know, the brother of that patient complained, go to the newspaper, you know, said that the brother's leg was, you know, amputated wrongly, wrong side. Okay, anyway, so what I'm trying to say is, as a estate planner, we cannot do this kind of assumption, all right? So the other thing is that our level of advice, level of planning should go up one step, two step, okay? So like I said, one person die or both person die, this kind of situation, we need to cover also, okay? So like this kind, if it's a non-trust nominee, then we should advise our clients accordingly. All right, so at the back of your mind, you were thinking like, okay, if this is not so good, then what would be the best so-called solution? Or okay, and as far as solution is concerned, depend on who, if a client, who did they get the advice? Okay, again, nothing wrong. It's just a different kind of level. Typical insurance agent, if a client asks, then they'll say, okay, you need to do absolute assignment. Nothing wrong also, because that's what the law says. If you read carefully, I asked this kind of question to counter staff of life insurance company. Same thing, their advice is to do absolute assignment. Okay, so nothing wrong also, but again, absolute assignment got good and bad. I mean, a lot of things also got good and bad. Okay, so just a quick one, if I may say something on absolute assignment. Okay, let's say this Mr. A, he bought a policy, and then he nominate brother. Okay, we know this is non-trust, correct or not? Okay, then typical advice is that, Mr. A, if you want your brother to benefit the money, then you have to do assignment, you know. Yes, you have to do absolute assignment. Okay, on this policy to the brother. So a bit of technical detail. So Mr. A is an assigner, and he's of course a policy owner, the policy. And then this brother is an assignee. Okay, so in the event Mr. A dies, then this money, because the assignee is considered as a new owner of the policy, so the insurance company will look at who is the assignee. They'll pay to the assignee, the brother. So brother can own the money himself, and once the policy assigned, it will not form part of the estate of the deceased. So it will not be subject to the other beneficiaries, if they are under Distribution Act, and also not subject to the claims of estate creditors. Okay, so first part, no issue. But during my research, then I think through a lot of other things. But there is a situation of course, we say if, let me use another color. If this assignee die first. Okay, assignee die before the assigner, before Mr. A, then what happens? Okay, so just a quick one is the ownership of this policy will end up inside the estate of the brother who has died. Okay, so then the next question to ask is, then who can, or practical question is, Mr. A, the assignor, say, hey, you know, my brother died before me and I want to take back my policy. Then how to take back? I done it before and I walked into the insurance company. Their answer was correct, meaning you have to get the executor or the administrator, means a personal representative of the estate of brother, to sign the revocation assignment form. Okay, to revoke allow the revocation assignment. Only then A can take back the ownership of the policy. Once he can take back the policy, then of course he can you know, put nomination or he can assign to another party lah. Okay, so a bit of detail. So like I say, when we do our practice, we want to be comprehensive in terms of our understanding and also our advice to our clients. Okay, I have Jason who asked, is all kind of insurance assignments subject to pay stamp duty? Answer is okay, I was given to understand. Okay, the one I had to double check, or we have to double check. Certain assignment of life in policy may not attract the full stamp duty. Okay, we know there's an issue which next week, next Saturday, we're going to discuss in more specific details. Okay, if you have friends who are in the bank, or probably you have bankers here, we can you know, testify. I mean, can just confirm with us. Some policy clients, they want to assign to the bank, you know, to cover their loans in that sense. So that one, I was given to understand, no need to pay the full stamp duty. Okay, I know that a lot of us, we talk about insurance trust. Answer is yes. The issue is still there, that when we assign the insurance policy to the trust company, then it attracts full stamp duty. Okay, next week, I'm going to explain more about how to minimize the stamp duty. Okay, so if you like it, then you can just join in the session next Saturday at 8:30. Okay, all right. So can keep your questions coming. Okay, now back to this one. Already I explained already very clearly. So under trust policy, these two categories. And then non-trust, then nominee receive money executor, and it actually form part of estate as per the Financial Services Act. Okay, and for this, just to let you know, it does not apply to Muslim or Muslim convert. Okay, and for those who are maybe we just know each other, I can do you know, estate planning for Muslim and also estate planning for Muslim convert. Okay, so they have a bit of difference because a lot of Muslim convert, their parents, their biological parents and natural parents are not Muslim, because non-Muslim cannot inherit from Muslim, and non-Muslim cannot inherit from Muslim estate under Faraid. Okay, so there are ground for Muslim and Muslim convert to do their estate planning. Of course, certain tools are similar, certain tools are different. Okay, for will, we use will, Muslim use wasiat. Okay, and then they can use a few other things, okay, which is beyond the scope of today's discussion. Okay, I promise you that I'll show you some you know, technical stuff. Type of policy money. So as I explained, we are actually under the Schedule 10. Para 5. Para 5.1. Okay, so it's just to rephrase a little bit. So it's the same. The law says that a nomination by a policy owner other than a Muslim policy owner create a trust in favor of the nominee if the nominee is spouse or child. If the person is married, the person is single, so-called, then the nominee is a parent. Okay, since you are looking at the law, technically, the law did not mention this word called single. Okay, you read, let me read and then you can see. It says that a nomination by a policy owner shall create a trust in favor of the nominee of policy money payable upon death of the policy owner if the nominee is spouse or child. Okay, so here spouse is legally married at that time. It can be second marriage, but at the point of nomination, that person is a spouse. Point of nomination, then there's no change, and then the person dies, then that person will be recognized as the spouse. Okay. Then one technical question is, hey, when Mr. A married this Mrs. A, after that, put the nominee is Mrs. A, the wife. Subsequently, they got divorced. Then will she be recognized as a spouse? My interpretation is yes, because if you look at the law, it says that at the point of nomination. And then it also does not say anything to the effect that divorce will nullify the nomination. Okay, so that is my interpretation, which I think is correct. Okay, and then under B, it says that where there is no spouse or child living at the time of nomination, then nominee is parent. So as long as person at the point of nomination, the person doesn't have spouse. The person can have can marry and then divorce, then ex-spouse. Okay, so no more spouse means no more legal spouse at that time, and no child. It can be he had a child, but the child already died pre-deceased. Okay, so the law is quite complete in that sense. Just to explain a bit of detail so that we can appreciate what the law says. But in a very simple way, we say the person is single in that sense. Okay, so I hope you can appreciate this part. And just continue what the law says under bracket 2. It says that a payment under the subparagraph 1 above shall not form part of the estate of deceased. So it's very clear, it's even stated. So our nomination law in Malaysia, they try to be more clear in that sense. Okay, means it does not form part of the estate. When it does not form part of the estate, means it does not form part of the estate, means it's out of the estate. Okay, any asset that does not form part of the estate is not subject to estate creditors. All right, so there is a picture. Okay, so back to this one. Okay, this one, part 3. This one, what's the time now? Okay, I only left 10-15 minutes. So I'll leave this out first. If you want me to explain, I will explain. It will take about 5 minutes to explain. Okay, but later on we'll see any question come from there. If have, then I will explain. All right, so Jason says, how about married person, nominate parent, non-trust? Thanks, Jason, for your question. Again, like I say, a very common question. Nothing wrong. So just to clear your mind. Last time also when I was studying, then I always get this kind of question. Also, I get very confused. Then I try to clear my mind. So actually, it's very simple. Okay, so you just follow my way of thinking, then you'll be absolutely okay. So remember, there are only 2 categories. Single, put parent, nominate parent. Married, put spouse or child. Okay, so if single, put other than parent, non-trust, or other category. Married person, put ex-spouse. Okay, that one a bit technical. Put brother lah, sister lah, friend lah, or single, put boyfriend, girlfriend lah. All these are other category. Okay, all right. So just now I said ex-spouse means I am Mr. A. I got the first marriage. All right, then divorce already. Then I have present marriage. I got my present legal wife. But for certain reason, not so common now, but very interestingly, somebody I know of is actually in KL. Interestingly, the person had 2 marriage. He has a first marriage, and then 2 teenage children now already in university, and then divorced, legally divorced, and then got the present marriage with another child. And these 3 parties are okay, they don't stay together, but they stay in the same kampong, same area in KL. Okay, so in that situation, if that Mr. A, he wants to provide for the previous family or the previous spouse, but he's married with the second wife, I mean the present wife, but he buy a policy and he just use nomination and put the ex-spouse, ex-wife's name, that's under non-trust law. Okay, so ideally, how do you, give them a solution? Typical solution, like I mentioned just now, is we use insurance trust. Of course, now because of the issue of stamp duty, then next week we'll have a few alternatives that you can, you can propose to clients. It's just like there's no one road from KL to PJ lah. There are now multiple roads, ring road lah, direct lah, kampong road lah, all this. So they are just open up our mind that there are actually more ways than one. We want to do some estate planning. So that is the fun part. Even for life insurance proceed, there are a few ways. On this part, let me just impress your mind a little bit. Okay. What you can do is that you can do some so-called mental exercise or so-called research by yourself. What you can do is that you can ask yourself this question. When a person bought a life insurance policy, and then this one is a death benefit. Okay, ask yourself this question. When this policy owner dies, policy owner, Mr. A, my typical one, Mr. A. Right? So when he dies, what are the things, what are the ways that the money, the death benefit can go to? It can go to estate. Okay, maybe he used will to deal with it. It can go to assignee. Okay, the one you have to do episode assignment. Fair enough. It can be the person is insured, Mr. A. He can structure a bit differently that he's insured, but the money pays to policy owner. Okay. Let me look at the question. Where does the death benefit goes to? Okay, so it can be estate, it can be assignee, it can be owner. It can go to a trust, an insurance trust. Okay, usually it's by absolute assignment, but the trust company that I work with, I get their training. You can use they call trust nomination under Financial Services Act. Okay, plus deed, trust deed. Okay, that one is was advised by them, so they say okay to have that. So there are few ways that your insurance money can go to. Okay, so let me just continue with this one. Okay, we are done with this. This one is if there is no trustee appointed. Okay, I think this one I explained the last bit, then I can open question to you already. Okay, let's look at the para 5.3. It says that the policy owner may, by policy or notice in writing to the insurer, appoint any person other than himself to be the trustee of the policy money. Okay, what does it mean? Okay, this one come back to this one. Maybe I draw easier to visualize. Okay, Mr. A is here. He buys a policy. Okay, and then he nominate the wife. Okay. And then okay, he can actually appoint a trustee. Why is it that he can appoint a trustee? Because the Financial Services Act says that by a person who is married by nominating the wife, he become a trust. So when he has set up a trust, I mean, he become a trust under what we call statutory trust, means the the trust is created by this law, then you can have a trustee. Okay, so what the law says is that Mr. A cannot appoint himself. So he can appoint somebody here as a trustee. Okay, so let's say he appoint the wife. Okay, in this case, not much of an issue lah. If A dies, Y is around. Actually, Y is paid by the insurance company as a trustee. Then the trustee is also the nominee lah. The Y are same person, so the Y can keep the money, no issue. Okay, but if for certain reason then the person say, okay, I don't want to put my wife, I put my brother, for example, as a trustee. Answer is yes, can also. Okay, but that means that when A dies, the wife is the one who received, who benefit from the money, is a nominee or beneficiary, but the money will not be paid to the wife. Okay, the insurance company will pay to the named trustee, which is the brother. Okay, so after I study all this life insurance nomination, then I found one issue is that a lot of people, they don't look beyond, especially practitioner in the industry. You have to look beyond what happened. Means at the practical stage, is it practical or not? Okay, so we always have to find out more what he wants or why we do policy review. Then we found, he put this one. Then we have to ask, what is his intention? And if the structure still, can fulfill his intention, then fine. If it does not fulfill his intention, then you have to highlight to him that actually your structure has a bit of issue. Then you may want to, do a different structure. Then the person will appreciate, oh yeah, how come nobody explained to me like that? Because many people, I will use the word many, they don't really look at the second layer and the third layer. Okay, so the practical problem is the money you pay to the brother. If the brother don't give the money to the wife, to A's wife, then got problem. Because if this one is an individual, they cabut lah, whatever, then got problem. Okay, so just to let you know. And then the other issue is that if the nominee involve minor children, minor child. Okay, as you know, minor child below 18 cannot inherit the money, so there will be some issues. Okay, so this is what it means by a trustee. Okay, and I also found out that this one to me is confirmed. Many policies in the market policy affected, no problem, but trustee column blank. Okay, so then what is the implication? Okay, so let's look at what the law says. Let's read one more time. The policy owner may appoint a person other than himself to be the trustee. So this is what I mean by this trustee of the policy money, means the death benefit, and where there is no trustee appointed. All right, means that trustee column is blank. Then you got A, you got B, and you got C actually. So let's look at A, B, C. Right, so certain situation, not so much an issue, but certain other situation, there may be an issue. So if there is no trustee appointed, means either the trustee column not appointed means blank, or the trustee had predeceased, died before the policy owner. Then the nominee who is competent to contract can receive the money. So in this case, if you nominate the wife and then the trustee column blank, then the insurance people are correct to say that the wife can inherit, can collect the money, and no issue. But other situation, there may be an issue. So look at B. It says that if the nominee is incompetent to contract, then the parent, okay, the word is the parent, okay, oops, okay, the parent of the incompetent nominee can inherit, can be the trustee. All right, so this one later on, I'll tell you the implication. This one has implication in the event of a divorce. Just now we said that A and then Mrs. A. So a lot of people in the market, you cannot just assume they are married, then live happily ever after. Okay, so this kind of things got problem. Or when you talk to your clients, I do a lot of estate planning, I get a lot of funny cases. People from different background, either divorced before or they have a previous set of children. All these issues are one funny case. I have one couple who walk into my office. They behave like husband and wife, but they are not husband and wife. Okay, it means legally their relationship is not husband and wife. Okay, this kind of issue, then we have to be aware of it, be more sensitive to it. All right, so come back to this one. The parent and competent nominee will be the trustee. And if no surviving parent, that one we talk about common disaster or double tragedy, where Mr. A and Mrs. A die at the same time, and then the child is one a nominee. Nomination will not fail because the child is still around, but the money will be paid to public trustee. Okay, public trustee is Amanah Raya Berhad. They will hold on trust until the child is 18. Okay, so any questions so far? If not, then I just give you one last bit of tip here. Okay, let's say, okay, this is Mr. A. And then you got Mrs. A. And then they are divorced already. Okay, and then this Mr. A, he purchased a policy. And then he say, I want to, this insurance money, I want it to go to my minor child. And then trustee column, blank. Okay, I can tell you this one very common. You can double check in the market. Okay, you do a policy review, then you let me know whether it's true or not. Okay, in this case, there is an issue because if Mr. A dies, then the nominee is a minor child. Then who inherits? Who can be paid the money? The insurance company will pay to Mrs. A. Quick answer. Okay, so you ask Mr. A, is it okay that your ex-wife, collects the money? In normal situation, then you have to find out lah. So they're usually depend on who holds the custody, and the minor child, is it with the mother or with the father kind of thing? And in certain situations, I have seen it also that the man actually has the custody of the child, and he said this woman, the ex-wife, tak boleh pakai one. That's why the ground for divorce. Very, very seldom. More often is the man that have problem, then the wife want to divorce the husband. Okay, so again, like I say, we have to be mind to be open, and we have to fact find properly. Then we go back and design estate planning solution for our clients on their situation. Okay, so this is just a quick one. Maybe many of you have already know this already. All right, so I will start on here and take some of your questions. I saw one, I think Anwar. Anwar asked, is the word incompetent also applied to OKU? Okay, good question. Let me just show you where is it just now. Okay, Anwar, for your question, incompetent, the word, this is a legal word. In a legal meaning, the word incompetent means don't have the legal capacity to contract. So of course here, again, I assume the more common situation that the person is under the age of 18. Okay, it can be a person who is OKU. If a person is OKU, I have not done specific research on that part, so I cannot give you very clear answer. But we can also do our research together. I also have I have clients, children who are OKU. They are either autistic or there are others and then some has this OKU status, get the OKU card. So that part, if in law they are proven to be incompetent to contract, especially if they don't have the mental capacity, then that one, then they cannot inherit. Okay, so we have one of our friends here that based in Malacca, I won't mention name, that he has some clients referred to her by friends, and then that person, that client has a OKU child. So he did ask me for how to structure some of the estate planning solution for the client. Oh, okay. So I hope that answer your questions, Anwar. All right. So I will take your questions. Any question from your side? Okay, you don't have, then let me just don't mind. I spend a few minutes of advertisement time. Right, for those who know me, I have this estate planning online academy, and already first anniversary already. So just for those who are not familiar, I now have 8 sections under my estate planning course. Okay, section 1 initially was actually regular group discussion or training like this, but I did not have all the time to do that many. But now for this first anniversary, I have some changes or updates. I'm going to offer personal coaching and case study. I can commit 20 session. Okay, personal one-on-one. So that I can help you not just to knowledge-wise, you get it from my video. I got 14 hours of video, 87 video inside this online academy. And when you subscribe to it, you can watch it unlimited times, okay? So then later on, I found that a lot of my students and also some of the subscribers, they need the personal sessions like you. They call me up, ask me questions, they got a case they want to discuss to help them to close cases, make money. Okay, actually second half the year 2023, I mean, we are all financial planners, so people are talking about recession in US, high chance, and you'll be surprised that the economy is still strong, so the interest rate will still be high. It will not come down that soon. So that a lot of people thought that it's going to come down and things are going to be better. It may not be So anyway, what I'm trying to say is that we all need to work harder to cover the market. All right, so second section, I have about 20 plus FAQ. Short question, short answer. Okay, which which are very practical. In the website, you can see all the questions there. All right, and then okay, section 3 are for practitioners. I have sales process, how to open case, how to do fact finding, how to take will instruction, how to go into other things. Very, very, very systematic. So this one for sales, for practitioners are very, very useful. Section 4, okay, I actually done 18 module 2 lectures over the last 3 years, 4 years already. So a lot of explanation, I found that I can explain very well. So what I did was that my recorded lecture, I actually cut out some of the section, and I just post it up there, and all the topics are also listed there. After I'll show you the link, you can take a look. All right, and then a lot of things can be are out there. I find that my system already quite stabilized. Like just now I mentioned 3 box and all these things integrated. The way I explain quite systematic. All right. Section 5 awareness video. You know that I have given talks, 1 hour plus talks to here. I listed 4 to different section of the market. Okay, and then 6 and 7 are also for practitioners. I have short videos about estate planning topics, and I have a list of 12 articles published in a Smart Investor more than 10 years ago. So this kind of things are for subscribers. If you are insurance agent or your estate planners or your FAR, you can use this to WhatsApp, send to your clients from time to time or prospect. Okay, to open cases. These are bullets that you can use. And now I just added in a few months ago, this one very exciting on estate planning for business owner. Okay, so now what I do is that I restructure a little bit. I have 3 packages for you know, our friends, depend on your level and your needs. So I got package 1. You can have just mainly actually is for consumers, or those insurance agents just want some knowledge which you are not so familiar in estate planning. Then I have section 2, 4, and 5. And now this one I saw like this the basic package. So this one I am going to put it up as a new payment gateway. So that one, if you like it, then I will send you a link for registration interest. So once the link is ready, then I'll send it to you. Okay, I have package 2 where you can get section 2 to 8 for 788. There's no section 1. Section 1 is the personal consultation, okay, which I added in to package 3. All right, so I'll have all the 8 sections that you have. That means including the 20 hours of one-to-one case discussion, either by WhatsApp or call or Zoom session. And I want to make it available and affordable to all the friends in the industry, whether you're insurance agent, estate planners, or financial advisors. So I'm going to collect on a monthly basis. Okay, so I only charge 83 ringgit monthly. And then I have this payment gateway that you will charge on just auto renewal basis. Okay, so any question on this? So one question. Anwar. Okay, double treasury is quite complicated. So maybe next week, Anwar, can you attend next Saturday? All right, so you remind me again, I'll answer that. The one will take about 10 minutes. Okay. Okay, Jason. Okay, this one it's just the system is auto renewal on a monthly basis. You deduct your credit card until you stop it lah. So I also cannot enforce that you must have subscribe for 1 year or 2 years lah. But you want the 20 hours, then of course you subscribe on a monthly basis. Then I become like your technical advisor lah behind the scene. Yiling, next week is Saturday. I also alternate Friday and Saturday because some people say, weekday I cannot make it, only like a weekend, Sunday weekend I cannot make it. So I alternate lah. So next week one is Saturday, 8:30 p.m. Okay, so for today and actually for the rest of July, this is my first anniversary special offer for all of you. But I only offer it for July only. For those who subscribe the monthly package, the 83 ringgit, I'm going to give you free. Just now I told you the excitement part is section 8, how to plan for business owner, the sole prop, the partnership, and the Sendirian Berhad. Okay, so I'm going to conduct it. I'm on what do you call it? October. Okay, October. I'm going to have a full day Zoom session. Usually on the weekend. I think most people can on the weekend. Full day, 9 to 4, 9 to 5 kind of a session, just specific on this topic on integrated estate planning. On the business owner and professional. Okay, in my mind, I will be charging a normal cost fee 988 lah. So I'll be answering all these questions in your mind. So I hope to you know to train more of competent estate planners, and you can go and close more cases. Okay, my concern is through you, I can multiply my knowledge, practice knowledge, then I can touch your clients. Okay, they get better advice, they get better planning, so you become more competent, you get more business. So I think this is something that I feel strongly about. Okay, so okay, what you do is that you just need to scan this QR code, and I will be able to then you go in there. This QR code, the link is all the section, all the 8 section, the details. Jason Tan, business owner refer all nationality in Malaysia or restrict Malaysian. Mainly Malaysian or people who they are foreigners but they do business in Malaysia. They have business in Malaysia. Okay, so I hope you answer your question. And okay, just one last sharing. I'll show you the link that I like to. Okay, so the two links that I like to share with you. First link is next Saturday's session. Next Saturday session, please register chat box. Okay, so if you have not registered, I have 30 people registered already, so you can register there. And the second link. Okay, second link, let me share here also. Yeah, Cynthia, thank you. Yeah, the second link, please register. I need some of your feedback and indication of interest on my 3 packages with my special offer for tonight. Okay, so with that, then any other question that I like to that you need to ask? If not, then sorry for exceeding. So good topics, especially on estate planning. 1 hour is of course fairly short. So I hope I can given you some overview. So you know your level of knowledge, and some of you, actually many of you are for revision. So some of the gap of knowledge, then in my online academy, I got 87 videos that are all there. Many of the questions that you have in your mind can be answered there. Okay, so thank you everyone. So have a good weekend. So I see you again next Saturday. If anything, then you can just WhatsApp me lah. I'm sure all of you have my WhatsApp number, right? If not, I just put it here lah. We all are familiar with each other. Okay, all right. Thank you. So good night. Any question, just text me. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Yep.